on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the 2024 Mercedes-AMG GLE 53 4MATIC Turbo Coupe. It's a long name, but this is the facelifted version of the Mercedes GLE. So the changes are similar to the regular GLE. However, this is actually the 53 AMG, which is like half here, half there, because it's not the 63. Yet it has the sports mode. Yes, there is a sports mode here. Obviously, the key is finished in black. It says AMG right here. And this car is going to be priced around rupees 2 crores, which is expensive. Cars are getting expensive. But anyways, what exactly has changed? Not much, to be honest, because the grille remains the same. The bumper has minor revisions around this area. It gets 6 parking sensors at the front because it has self-park. There's a camera here. Radar is right behind us. Look at this. This is like huge. In fact, there's an air curtain which is very much functional. The lights have been revised. These are multi-beam LED headlights. So the DRL design has been revised. So some changes here. Mercedes logo right there. And this is also new. So earlier there was something else right here. I mean, there was obviously a logo, but now it has the AMG logo. And straight away, let's open the engine bay. And there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is it 5? This is a 6-cylinder. So 1, 2, 3, 5. 6-cylinder engine. Obviously, engine bay has never been cleaned. This car has done like barely 100 kilometers. So I'm running it in very smoothly, which you will see in the driving part, of course. Washer fluid goes in right here. I think the battery is placed there. There's insulation here. And obviously, it gets gas struts as well. Let's shut this. This car definitely looks quite nice. So the grille is nice, not oversized, of course. And the ride height has been increased to the maximum. It looks like a muscle SUV, and the coupe version is only available with the AMG. So that's how they differentiate it. It's almost 5 meters in terms of length. The wheelbase is slightly more than 2.9 meters. And now the ground clearance is quite a bit because air suspension, now you can raise it. Alloy wheel design has remained the same. They have not made changes to it. This car gets 6 color options, 4 wheel options, similar wheels with maybe silver finishing. So technically 2 designs, but because of the colors, they say there are 4 options. And interior options, they are 8. 275, 45, 21 is the size of the tires. Tires are like massive. And it says AMG right here. There you can see the suspension. It even says AMG on the suspension. I think Mercedes charges us a lot just to put their logo in multiple places. Turbo 4MATIC Plus. There is a camera. In fact, it projects the Mercedes logo at night from the outside rear view mirrors. There's a light which comes out here to show you the footboard. And the rear tire will blow your mind because the tire size at the rear is a mind-boggling 315 40 21. That's supercar sized. That's huge. Obviously, AMG is not written here, which is a bit disappointing. But look at the size of the tires. That's humongous. Well, that's what she said. Parking sensor here because 6 parking sensors at the rear. This will take 85 liters of fuel. And finally, they have given it keyless entry because earlier there was no keyless entry. So that has been added now. A basic feature which was not there has been added. So I should not really rejoice over it because it should have been there in the first place. It gets the mirror package as well, which is basically electrically you can open the mirror and all. I mean, basic stuff which Mercedes skips on the pre-facelifted model and gives it in the facelifted model. And they're like, yay, look at the amount of features we have given you. AMG written right here. And it says GLE 53. Meanwhile, some revisions to the taillights as well, but does not have a welcome animation. It says Mercedes-Benz on the inside. In fact, Mercedes logo is also somewhere here. There is one here as well. There should be some here also. Not that it matters. This is the rear fog light. And like I was telling you, 6 parking sensors at the rear. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth, always scared of these exhausts on an AMG model. Firstly, it says AMG there because these are real exhausts. Not really, because if you see on the inside, this is actually the outside casing, but it's a bit hot. You get towing hook, you get a diffuser treatment as well. And where is the camera? This car doesn't have a rear parking camera. I am kidding. All Mercedes cars have it inside right here. That is how the boot opens. Now, compared to the regular GLE, which is not the coupe, the boot is slightly smaller. However, it is still huge. Look at the size of the boot. The fuse box has opened. I don't know how. Did I drive too fast? And I can just reduce the ride height by pressing this button. So there you see, it is going down. It makes it slightly easier to stuff in luggage. But hey, who are you kidding? Do you really need that feature? And there. squatted down from the rear, which it does when you launch the car. Like it goes like this and I'm so bad at car sounds. I should do electric car sounds. And spare wheel is not an alloy thing. It doesn't matter because it is chintu mintu at 195 70 20. But there is a lot of space in this car, which you can see. Power tailgate, of course. I am missing my helicopter. Helicopter. Hey dude, stop. Okay, anyways, let's focus on the car. Subtle lip spoiler, no rear wiper washer, high mounted stop lamp because I can do it like this. Let's turn on the wipers. Oh my god, I am so efficient and now I am so freaking dirty. Never mind. I hate this fake stuff on Mercedes cars. No reason to have it. It should have dynamic 5 indicators. I really don't understand why it does not have it. Let's get into the rear. And the typical Mercedes quality, phenomenal. You get this leather treatment, wood treatment. I think has a 13 speaker Burmester sound system. There is no rear sun blind, which is shocking at this price. Huge door pockets, and I can just put the seat down like this. Now I can carry more stuff. But if I really wanted to carry more stuff, I should have got a Bolero, not a GLE. Isofix child seat mounts, and it says AMG on the mats. Slightly scooped out magazine holder here, AC vent here, hook, height adjustable seat belt, and there is a light here. I think this is the coat hook. Meanwhile, it gets a 4-zone climate control air conditioning system. Let's turn off the air conditioning. And 2 USB-C charging sockets, some storage space here, a hump here, which means center passenger is not really comfortable, but he does have a head, and you get an armrest with twin cup holders. Well, the seats are really nice and comfortable. Recline angle could be better, or at least I should have had the option of reclining it. I should have had ventilated seats. I should have the massage function, which is not even there at the front. Dashboard design remains more or less the same as before, so they haven't really updated it much other than the new steering wheel, which I don't like. Can move this ahead and behind like this. That's easy. Space is good. Underthigh support is not the best, and headroom is adequate enough in spite of the sloping roofline. You don't get a massive panoramic sunroof. I mean, it's slightly bigger than a normal sized one because of the sloping roofline. And let's get out. It doesn't make sense actually to have a coupe version of an SUV, but car makers are doing any sort of design because let's be honest, with a coupe version, you're paying more for less practicality, less headroom, and less boot space as well, which simply does not make that much sense. Power bulge on the bonnet, and obviously you get a camera there, a sensor there. The camera is obviously for ADAS, lane keep assistant, or sensor is for rain sensing, wipers. Says Carl Benz here, and wipers are so huge now. I don't know why there's that massive panel. Step inside and you would love the interior quality. Look at this, okay? It looks absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, memory function is there for the steering wheel, and underthigh support is never an issue here because I can actually adjust it. So I have adjusted it to the maximum. I can put it back as well. Electric seats, says AMG here on the seat, of course. Look at the side bolstering, it's crazy. It says AMG here as well, which actually lights up. Get a proper dead pedal. You get an airbag here. This car has got 9 airbags, big door bins, and metal switches. Thankfully, no touch happening here. Now I can move that seat from here, yeah, using these buttons, and 3 memory settings as well. That's the tweeter. Controls for the headlights as well as the electric parking brake of the vehicle. And what a beautiful interior, which looks awfully similar to the one on the Mercedes GLE. The regular model also has a very similar looking interior. So what has really changed? Firstly, the colors are a little different here and there. Secondly, the steering wheel is new. It does not have physical buttons now. It has these touch controls, which are not good at all. I don't like it. Heads up display has always been there. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, and it also shows you the parking sensor display. Some information here. Meanwhile, you get a mirror and light, and there are 2 of these sun blinds or sun visors, which is a good thing. Same is the case there as well. Meanwhile, the glove box has a new feature because this car now gets the air balance package. So here is the car perfume. Let me open it. This is actually added to the GLE, also the regular GLE, but it's unbelievably not available in the Mercedes GLS, which I simply do not understand. So all I have to do is just slot it into place like this, and now I can control the air fragrance from the climate control air conditioning system. Look at the lining on the inside. There's a pen holder as well. Fake vents here. Now is the time you guys have to listen very carefully, because this is a brand new car. I had the pleasure of removing. Okay, stop telling me it's going to lock. the car automatically locks after 20 minutes if you don't do any activity. So I just rev the nuts out of it, doing a proper run-in as well. So piano black finishing, fingerprint magnet. I like this lever, which is nice. This is heated and cooled, so you press a button and there it changes. The placement of the wireless charging pad is very wrongly done because it just doesn't fit properly for bigger phones. 12-volt charging socket, 2 USB-C charging sockets. Now it gets wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity as well. So certain features are being added here and there. And there's a USB-C charging socket, some storage space here. Meanwhile, this is to increase or decrease the ride height. Thankfully, we have got the touchpad and physical buttons here for a lot of functions, including for the camera, which is absolutely unbelievable in terms of quality. In fact, this parking sensor dances if there's an obstacle nearby. You get multiple views right here. I mean, I love the camera. It is so freaking awesome. I can actually save a position where I want the camera to get activated, and it gets self-park function too. Look at the quality of the camera. Look at the quality of the screen. So this is actually a 12.3 inch screen. This is also 12.3 inch screen. So what is new in this screen? First and foremost, I'm sure you guys know this. How do I get out of this view? Like, look at that. Isn't that absolutely awesome? Unbelievable quality. So what is new? Obviously, they do the same things all the time. Let me get out of reverse, which is they add a new mode here called off-road, and that is the new update here, other than the fact that the software is also new. So NTG7 is what I believe is right here. Screen is fantastic. This is the off-road mode, which gives you a lot of information. The usual bits which you get in the car, like get into settings, you can obviously alter the various ADAS modes and all that. In comfort, you get seat kinetics. You do not get seat massage, which is surprising to me. And ambient lighting, there are 64 freaking colors for the ambient lighting. Obviously, it gets connected car bit, and I mean, it's the usual thing which Mercedes has been doing since donkey's years now. Yeah, what quality of maps, absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I want to use the air conditioning. Okay, here we go into the air conditioning mode. There is the air freshener. So let me just turn it on. All cars should have onboard air fresheners, which is such a cool thing. Only thing is the bottle which I put will be very expensive. 4-zone climate control air conditioning system. That is the engine start button. It has this welcome animation on this screen. It also has this welcome animation on these screens. Using this, I can change a lot of things. I turn off the exhaust. You could hear the difference. I can browse through so many things. All the settings are here itself, so I have to never take my eyes off it. And then I can just rotate this to go through the various drive modes as well. Steering is obviously electrically adjustable. Has this nice Alcantara finish. The horn is nice and loud, and this screen has been updated as well. So now you get the off-road mode here too. That's what Mercedes is doing. Similar updates to almost all its cars. Cruise control buttons here. Now this is not easy to use. Firstly, it's very cumbersome. At times when you try to click on something, it just does not work. Paddles are finished in metal, very high quality. But this car gets a sports mode. It does not get a race mode. So that's not very AMG-like spirit here. Sunroof is good. It's big enough, and it does open decently big as well. There it opens. Don't come back, sunblind. Go back. Does it open any further? That's about it. It's still big enough in my eyes. So yes, it brings in a lot of airy feeling. The cabin is huge. I mean, look at this, like the width of the dashboard. It's absolutely crazy. And they've also added some treatment here, which they have done on the regular GLE as well, inspired from the GLS Maybach, that is. Let's start driving right away. Alright, let's turn off the car and look at these cool animations. I'm going to lock the car right now. There it locks. So you might be wondering, where am I starting the video? Actually, Google Maps has landed me in no man's land, and it's very terrible to say the least that I landed up in such a location. Anyways, let's turn on the vehicle, and straight away I am actually going to change the drive modes. So first things first, air conditioning has to be turned off. Yep. And we are actually going to come into off-road mode. Is there an off-road mode in this car? There is none. This car has got 5 drive modes, but there is no off-road mode. So we'll keep it in comfort right away, and we'll start moving. So on bad roads, my goodness, the ride quality is absolutely terrible. In sport mode, it is unbearable. In comfort mode, it's still fine. Very low profile tires, quite stiffer suspension, but it has got air suspension, it has got adaptive dampers. It does move around quite a bit here. Not the right place to drive a car with such low profile tires, but it is what it is, because Google Maps has thrown me on a very weird location right now, thinking that this is actually an off-road car. It does have 4MATIC, which is Mercedes' all-wheel drive system, but technically it's not meant for off-roading because of the suspension being too stiff, we turn on the off-road modes on both the sides, so you can actually see right here what is happening. I told you I hate these controls. So now you can see, obviously it's showing me a lot of information here. It's showing me things are changing. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, I'm feeling the bumps, I'm feeling the jolts, I'm feeling all of that and more, but we'll have to get down from here. So off-roading in a Mercedes-AMG, even though it's not a full-fat AMG, not a bright idea, but hey, there's nothing wrong in trying it, because no one's going to stop you from taking your car off-road as long as you don't speed up there, because once you speed up now, chances of damaging your tires very high indeed. So yeah, a lot of rocking motion here, and the car is obviously moving around quite a bit. It is stiff, it is quite stiff. It's not meant for dynamic driving, but it gets the job done, because obviously with air suspension you can raise the ride height quite a lot. So first things first, for this I actually need the cameras now, because I can't really see what's ahead. I've increased the ride height to the maximum. Yes, we are hitting the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link Road, which is India's biggest sea bridge. Oh my god, the jolt. So I'm straight away going to come into Sport Plus mode, which means that the car is already lowering, and I am going to get into this particular menu here, the drive mode menu. So right here I can keep this button pressed to turn off traction control as well. So one press, it is sport handling mode, and I keep it pressed, and there traction control turns off, hazard lights on. We have not technically joined this road, but I'm going to make it real fast. So straight away I'm actually going to come into the super sport mode. We'll come out of this menu. I'm going to turn on AMG performance, engine data, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and off we go. Performance is absolutely stunning, very brisk, and there's the real SUV right in front of me. The engine is loud, it's loud in a nice way, and the motor really pulls nice and strong. So yes, it has a lot of grunt. This is a 3-liter straight 6 motor. My god, the road is so beautiful, you don't feel like you're in India right now. So 3-liter straight 6 petrol engine, which actually pumps out 430 horsepower. Earlier it used to pump out 435 horsepower, but now I think they've reduced 5 horsepower. Meanwhile, torque output has actually gone up from approximately 520 Newton meters to 560 Newton meters, and that's a result of some tweaks being done to the maps and all. This car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5 seconds now. Earlier it used to take 5.3 seconds, so it has become faster by 0.3 seconds. And the biggest USP here is the fact that this car actually has a 48 volt mild hybrid system, which pumps in 20 horsepower. Yeah, the assist is 20 horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque, because of which turbo lag is very well contained, and the engine is smooth, it's extremely refined. But because of that electric assist, it has good punch lower down. Mid-range is absolutely fantastic, phenomenal mid-range in this car, and the gearbox is a 9-speed torque converter automatic, which is very quick shift. It doesn't hesitate. Oh my god, it sounds like a muscle car. Sounds actually nice. Obviously some artificial sounds are being piped through the speakers, but performance will really make you feel excited, because this is a fast car. It sounds fast, it sounds very bassy, and then paddle shifters also help in giving you good response, because it doesn't hesitate to give you a downshift when you need it. So it's good in that regard. We'll just quickly change this mode to the sport mode right here, and so many things can be altered. So you can alter the engine, you can alter the gearbox, you can alter the ESP system to sport, and then you can turn it off completely, because this is 4MATIC. Obviously it does not spin its wheels at all. And oh my god, the downshifts are immediate. You can change the gearbox as well. You can change the exhaust to powerful. So obviously now it is on powerful exhaust. It has got air suspension, it has got adaptive dampers as well, and you can alter both of those factors. Now in Sport Plus mode, the suspension is really stiff. Firstly, it lowers completely. The dampers are really very stiff. Unbearable ride quality when you do that, obviously. Downshift, the punch, the performance, the sound, the way it pulls, just amazing. The steering is super sharp. This car's grip levels are unbelievably awesome, because obviously it's got massive, chunky, big fat tires, and that really helps in terms of the grip levels. Around the corners it surprises you, because it's so smooth. It just darts into corner with a lot of precision, because the steering has good amount of feel and feedback. It weighs up beautifully. Amazing steering, amazing handling. Obviously there is quite a bit of body roll, which is expected considering the weight of this car, you sit really high up. Firstly, I find the car to be really very wide. In fact, the car is so wide now, at times I'm like, oh my god, how do I maneuver through this Chintu Mintu lane? Especially on toll booths, I find it a bit difficult to maneuver because the car feels super duper wide and not very easy to maneuver, as turning radius is also quite a bit. Obviously, Mercedes is going to launch the AMG 63 as well, 63 AMG, however you want to call it. Something she's talking randomly, so you please keep quiet. I'm not talking to you right now. And there we have some vehicle data which is showing me the balance and everything of the suspension and all. So this car actually has 500 mm of water weighting capacity, which is actually less than the Mahindra Thar as well. But then this car can run circles around such Chintu Mintu cars like the Thar and all that stuff. Great weight distribution, I feel, because the car feels so good to drive. I'm not a big fan of the Mercedes GLE, but trust me on this car, even the 53 excites me tremendously because it feels so good to drive. The engine really puts a massive smile on your face, and the gearbox, well, it's not a dual clutch automatic, yet being a torque converter, it is really quick with shifts, but it does not get a race mode. Unfortunately, it does get a sport mode, which is something which the regular GLE does not get. So that's a place where BMW does better, because it obviously, it always has the Sport and Sport Plus modes in almost all its cars, which is fantastic. Let's downshift a bit. Look at hear the sound, okay? It feels so aggressive. Oh my god, the soundtrack is just amazing. So I'm going to quickly change the mode. The classic one is my absolute favorite. I think it's just phenomenal, the classic display which Mercedes-Benz offers. And here we are going to come out of this menu where I can show you the consumption data, because this has an 85 litre fuel tank. That's the IWC clock. Digital, but still looks cool enough. 85 litre fuel tank. Fuel efficiency will be somewhere between 5 to 8 kilometers per litre depending on your driving style. And technically, this is a good balance between the regular GLE, which does not excite at all, and the mad AMG GLE 63, which is just way too fast for our roads and doesn't really feel that practical because it's just way too aggressive. This one is a nice middle ground, nice mid-range. It redlines around 7,000 RPM. You've also got manual mode, so if I use this to change the drive modes, I can see what all gets altered. So firstly, there are 5 drive modes, and I will show them to you right away. There's a snow mode, there's a individual, there's comfort, there's sport and sport plus. There's no race mode here. You can change the engine, gearbox, and you can change the AMG dynamics. I'm going to get into the sport plus mode. It's pro dynamic and everything. In fact, I can also turn off traction control. I can alter a lot of things. Not that it makes much of a difference because the car is just bonkers. In comfort mode, it's a bit more relaxed. It doesn't feel that aggressive. Now from the Eastern Freeway, I am climbing on the Mumbai Trans Harbour link, and trust me, once you get onto this road now, you're stuck because there are no exits as such, and obviously with time things will develop. Yes, I can see there's a sharp curve ahead. You don't have to tell me, but the project seems supremely done. Obviously, this car has a suite of Mercedes ADAS systems like always. So there's a blind view alert, and my goodness, the bridge looks absolutely crazy from here. You obviously get forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking and the likes. Shut up! Around the corners, this car feels just unbelievably awesome for its weight. It feels so stable. I didn't expect it to be so good because I was like, okay, it's a big fat AMG. Now the design could be a bit polarizing. Some people like it, some don't. So it obviously depends on your taste. But yeah, Mercedes is not offering the regular GLE in the AMG guys yet. They always do the coupe thing. I don't know what's the logic. I don't think people really like the coupe much because of less practicality, of course. Meanwhile, the price range of this car is around rupees 2 crores. So yes, prices are increasing, of course, but the regular GLE costs approximately rupees 63 lakhs, lesser than this one. I'm talking about the 450 petrol. The diesel is, I think, slightly cheaper, which is kind of weird. Usually the diesel is more expensive always. And the full fat GLE 63 is priced around 70 lakhs more. Obviously, that's quite a stretch if you want to opt for the real deal, but this one gets the job done, giving you a good balance between both of them, of course. So let's quickly change this mode. This understated one, I kind of find it pointless, and I don't know why it's going to start playing audio. This is the navigation one, which shows me that I am not in a car. I'm right now in a boat or a ship because there is no road here. Look at that. That's kind of weird and awkward. Obviously, this map has not been updated with this new bridge which has come up recently. There. It always is so sensitive, the Mercedes ADAS system. So yes, it could be slightly better calibrated, and then obviously this is the ADAS view. In fact, I give an indicator, it shows that as well. Throttle response is quite immediate, huh? but I can't see the tachometer, so I'm going to change this mode right away. And that is the service menu, which is also quite cool, honestly. Oh my goodness, look at that sports car right ahead with that rear spoiler, wider tires. Wow. That is the R wagon, not the G wagon. This road has a lot of winds because it's near to the sea, so you need aerodynamics. And a lot of people are actually having very aerodynamically efficient cars with rear spoilers and whatnot. And there goes the oh, I can't say that. A lot of people are actually stopping here just to enjoy the road or whatever. They should have actually made proper parking spots right here. Charge people 20-30 bucks a minute to stop, and that would be a nice business model. Now the good news is that even though I'm in an AMG and I'm driving at maybe the speed limit right now, there is an awesome car which just passed by me. There it is. Oh, look at that. Let's see how fast this toll booth is, because they call it open road tolling system. Oopsie doopsie doo, man. I have to be really careful with these tires. By the way, the top speed of this car is 250 kilometers per hour, I am guessing. So 250 rupees single journey, and it goes all the way to 12,500 rupees for a monthly pass. Come on, Honda City. I was going to say use VTEC power, but VTEC power to hai nahi is gaadi mein. And did it read it? It seems it has. So here we go. What a joy to drive. I really enjoy driving this car. I think it is absolute fun. Wow, it seems like I'm in Dubai right now. So lovely car, lovely road, lot of fun. Sound of the engine. Listen to this, okay guys? The balance around the corners. Yes, there is roll, but it is so freaking glued to the road. It's unfreaking believable. Oh man, enjoyment to the maximum here. And now at 100 kilometers per hour, I'm going to be doing the brake test. The brakes are so strong that the iPhone actually detects it to be a crash. I kid you not. Anyways, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. This car, it does not have race start, it does not have launch control, which almost every BMW car has. Even the basic of basic BMWs actually have race start or launch control, which is the reason why I feel that Mercedes itself is not confident that this is a proper AMG. It's not, it's just a fast GLE, and in that regard it still is quite an impressive one, but an expensive one nonetheless. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm kind of lost right now, I don't know where I'm heading, but I really enjoy this car because 6 cylinders for the win, maybe the last of its kind in a 53 model. If you compare this with an EQE, the EQE is definitely, and I can assure you, the EQE, okay, it looks like you have been in a crash. Call emergency. No, you don't have to call. I don't think we have to go there. Oh, there he's telling me to go, and here we go. Ooh. Looks like a private road. No, stop calling. There's no crash. Oh, no. Oh God. This thing is no matter how fast the EQE is, it can never ever, and trust me, ever match this car, because an internal combustion engine, the sound, the feel, the thrust, well, that's what makes it so much fun, and that is the joy. And the reason why this road is completely empty today, because there's some truckers strike, so they all were stopped by the cops, and that's the reason the roads are empty. Just imagine if everything is done by railway transportation, our roads would be so amazing to drive on with less traffic and less problems also. So we are going to go launching yet again, and I'm going to launch it in my favorite mode, which is classic, and I'm going to come out of this. Not that it's going to help me in any ways. Then left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. And I'm going to go manual on the gearbox. So here it gives me complete manual control of things. Downshift, come on, give me a downshift. What are you waiting for? There. It will hold on to 7,000 RPM. No, it's 6,400 RPM because it's reduced after some time. Obviously, the engine is like, I can no longer hold that number, 6,700 RPM. Upshift. Oh. I can't get enough of this car. You won't believe it. I've been driving it day in and day out. That's how much I enjoy it. They also happen to have a plug-in hybrid of this car, only for left-hand drive markets, because we are right-hand drive. So we, which is India and the UK and Australia, we don't get the plug-in hybrid, wherein they have a 31.5 or 31.2 kilowatt hour battery pack, which gives an additional 100 horsepower. So this is 430 horsepower, that is 530 horsepower. But because of the weight of the battery, it is not that dynamic around the corners. Not that this is too much, but yes, grip levels are absolutely phenomenal. Bye bye.